I still remember the exact moment. It all started to unravel. My phone buzzed while I was sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the pink slip from my boss. My hands trembled as I unfolded the paper. The words "position terminated" glaring back at me like an accusation. I braced myself for comfort, for a word of reassurance, but the text that appeared next stopped me cold. "Wow, losing your job? That's kind of funny." It was from her, Maya, my wife, my partner of 7 years. I stared at the words, unable to comprehend them. My chest tightened, my stomach knotted. Surely, she must be joking. I called her, but she didn't pick up. I sent another text, hoping it was some bizarre, tasteless joke. "Are you serious? This isn't funny." Her reply came instantly, a single laughing emoji. That was it, just laughter. For days after, I couldn't shake the sting. I tried to brush it off, told myself I was being sensitive. I knew we had financial stress, sure, but hadn't we promised to be a team? That's what love meant, or at least, that's what I thought. But every time I glanced at her phone, her smirk as she tucked it into her pocket, or the sudden hush when I entered the room, a creeping doubt slithered in. It started small. Missed calls she claimed were work emergencies. Texts she read and didn't respond to. Her laughter on her phone that stopped abruptly when I came near. At first, I told myself I was imagining things. Paranoia is easy when your life is already shaking. But the unease grew. I started noticing details. The way she adjusted her sleeve to hide something. The subtle tone when she mentioned co-workers I didn't know about. I tried talking to her, careful not to accuse, careful to be calm. "Hey, everything okay at work today?" I asked once, though she didn't work. She just smiled a little too sweet and said, "Yeah, everything's fine. Don't worry so much." But I was worrying, and I wasn't imagining things anymore. One night, she left her laptop open. Something in me, a mix of dread and hope, made me glance at her chat window. My heart sank the moment I saw his name, Jason, a man I'd seen in photos she claimed was just a co-worker. And the messages were explicit, casual, cruel in their normality. "Can't wait to see you tonight," winky face. "Maya, you're driving me crazy. He doesn't deserve you." My hands shook so violently I dropped the laptop. It clattered on the floor, startling her, and she laughed. Not the warm laugh I'd loved, but a careless, reckless sound. I couldn't breathe. I wanted to scream, to cry, to vanish all at once. I sat there, silent, piecing together the fragments. The nights she worked late, the unexplained dinners, the dismissive laughter when I tried to discuss bills or plans. Everything suddenly felt like a lie. Memories of our small apartment, the nights I made her tea, the mornings I kissed her hair, stung like acid. Every tender moment had been tinged with deception, and I hated myself for not seeing it sooner. Days later, I confronted her. I remember standing in the living room, shaking, voice barely more than a whisper. "Maya, is there something going on?" "With Jason." She froze. Then she laughed again. A sound meant a charm, but it felt like mockery. "Oh, you actually looked at my messages?" Her voice was dripping with condescension. "You're unbelievable." I wanted to hit her, to beg her, to vanish. But I didn't. I just stared, letting the betrayal sink in. She finally sighed, the laughter dying into something like regret. Or was it just boredom? "Yes, I didn't think you'd notice. But honestly, you've been so obsessed with your job, your little career, that I don't even miss you anymore." Her words were a hammer to the ribs. Every ounce of trust, every shared secret, every quiet moment of laughter. It was gone, stripped away by selfishness I couldn't even comprehend. I wanted to hate her, but the mix of love and heartbreak clung to me, heavy and suffocating. I left that night, took nothing but the clothes on my back and a photo of us on our wedding day. I drove without direction, letting the city lights blur into a stream of pain and anger. And yet, somewhere deep in that wreckage of my heart, a small, stubborn ember of clarity glowed. I deserved better. I was better. Weeks later, I sold the apartment, changed my number, started therapy, rebuilt my life in the quiet, painful way only heartbreak allows. I thought about her, of course. I still do sometimes, but now, instead of aching, I reflect. I see the lesson buried in the grief, the strength to walk away, the courage to value myself, the clarity that laughter at another's suffering reveals the true character of someone you once loved. And sometimes, when I catch myself smiling at small victories or a sunrise I can't help but admire, I hear her laugh echo in my mind. But it no longer wounds me. It's just a ghost of the life I survived leaving behind.